Hello, welcome everyone. Tightrope here, bringing you a 1v1 today. This is on one of the new maps, Angoville, port from Company of Heroes 1.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Playing for you today is ronlq, Soviet Union. He's got shock rifle front line, tank hunter tactics, and guard motor coordination tactics. Tank hunter, of course, receiving a lot more attention these days after the buff to the PTRE, so a lot of people are complaining they're overpowered. The main complaint people seem to have with them is that they can destroy team weapons. So say if they're fighting a machine gun, the weapon will die, and when a weapon dies, the whole crew dies along with it. So usually when you're engaging infantry versus infantry, excuse me, you don't have to worry about that happening. But you do when you're facing against the PTRSs.
We have it.
On the other side, we've got Jono, OKW. He's got special operations, breakthrough, and fortifications. And he's opted for this side of the map.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
I think as OKW, I mean, just preliminarily, based on what I've seen, OKW do quite well out of this top spawn. You can put your unit headquarters back here, makes it very hard to push.
Well done,
Similarly,
comrades.
you can put your stuff up here. You can see that there's like some kind of an angle to this hill, and it's actually very hard to push that with field guns and the like when you've got your fort headquarters up here. I know, because I played against somebody who did that and I just could not kill this flak HQ even with two field guns. They just keep hitting the ground. And nice cut-off maneuver here by ronlq. And Jono selected fortifications. So he's going to have access to the MG34. I suspect he'll be using that shortly. Maybe to try and protect his cut-off. Early grenade, but it doesn't actually kill any squad members. That's a bit of rotten luck. He is right next to his fort headquarters though, so he can reinforce without too much trouble, and in comes stern pioneers. Conscripts who are out of the way, but still this engagement is not going too well for Jono. Well, early Molotovs here from ronlq forces Jono to retreat. And Molotovs over here forcing these stern pioneers to reposition. They're getting cut down by these three squads. It's a bit of a nasty retreat path. Might be able to dance away once they get into this yellow cover. And they just managed to skate out of the way of harm there. Still good maneuver from ronlq. Still got control of Jono's cutoff, repelling the lone squad that went over here. Couldn't really ask for more. This map, however, I feel is a bit more favoured towards the Axis. It's very hard to hold all three of these victory points at one time, making it almost inevitable that the game will go on till a bit late, to the late game, and that's generally where the Axis come alive. So just be careful. I haven't had much success playing on this map as US forces. So yeah, I vetoed it after I lost two matches on this and had one slugfest, which I should have won after 15 minutes. But just because I couldn't get all three VPs safely. Similar to Langrasky in that respect. MG jumps in this house, which is good. It will flank these conscripts. They don't jump onto the wrong side of the sandbags, which they didn't. And now they go, but they're not going to come out of suppression. Flamethrower though, doing some nasty damage to the MG in their building. It's probably going to have to jump out of there, face extermination. And down it goes. Just a bit of inattentiveness from Jono there, I feel. When he got down to about 2 miles, he should have just been all systems go, getting it out of harm's way. Doom Pioneers do chase off the conscripts over here. Actually, there's some barbed wire going down here from ronlq. I guess I missed that. Interesting, across this road here. Another Molotov. Forward reinforce point has been researched, so they don't have far to go. Shoe mine going down here. That's a surprise. Always risky going for early munitions expenditures as OKW. You generally want to get an early Panzerschreck, either to repel the M20 or the M3 scout car. But ronlq hasn't actually constructed any tech structures at the moment, so he's not going to make use of those early light vehicles. The Steam Pioneers look like they're pulling ahead in this engagement, but all it takes is a couple of crits. Any of you facing a flamethrower? Still, ronlq's done quite well, continuously cutting Jono off from his fuel. Jono did manage to return the favour over here. And now ronlq's putting down mine in this approach. Yeah, this wire, it's an interesting tactic. And this is a very late Kugelwagen. I'm not sure what to think about that, to be honest. This is a good map for the Kugel, but you really want to get it out as maybe your second or third purchase. Maybe get 1 or 2 squads of Volkswagens first and then pick it up. Or you could even just go for it first, but it'll leave you a bit lacking in capping power. Was there an anti-tank grenade on that? It was, early anti-tank grenades. He must have researched that before he even saw the Kugelwagen on the field. It's interesting. I usually wouldn't recommend that either. You want to see what your opponent's going to do and then counter it. Suppose it worked out for him this time, but in other circumstances it could delay your tech if you want to rush T70. That extra 25 fuel, I think it is, could really come in handy in getting your tech going a bit quicker. I believe it's 25. Yeah, 25, both upgrades 25. Oh, and down goes that squad of conscripts. Looks like that might have been a grenade there. Steam Pioneers chase off those conscripts from the road. Barbed wire barricades did get knocked down by the Kubel. Kubel's been repaired and it's... or half repaired. Doesn't have a damaged engine at least. Return to the front line. And there are a lot of really window heavy buildings on this side of the map. It's this one here, this one here, this one here. They're tough buildings, stone buildings, so they won't go down to mortars or grenades very quickly, and they've got a ton of windows out of each side, making them very hard to push. Especially as OKW, you don't have very good ability to knock your opponents out of buildings unless you select special operations or scavenge, then you'll have access to infiltration grenades, and that's your best option for getting units out of buildings early game. Certainly important if you're facing urban defence and you want to knock out a fort headquarters. Which is why you always want to have at least one of those two doctrines in your arsenal, in your loadout, in your selection of 3. Just in case you face urban defence. Urban defence is not quite as popular now. Oh, in the race to the building, Volkswagens get there first, decide to jump out for some reason. Maybe they thought they saw a Molotov being thrown, but it's not the case. And here we go. Up goes Tier 4, Flak HQ. How's that one lining up? Looks like you can kind of aim at that one a bit easier, opposed to this one from this lower position. You see that you're going to have trouble, you're going to be hitting this mound of dirt there quite often. It's also very hard to assault from this direction as well. You see that there? And I missed a squad wipe. There was the Vet 3 squad of Volksgrenadiers going down. Whoops. That's a terrible shame. Always sucks to lose your veteran squads like that. Comes another grenade by Jono. Oh, that one does some nasty damage. Could wipe the squad on retreat as well. And down it goes. So he returns the favour. Squad wipe there. Still, throughout this entire match, he has been using a lot of grenades. And as a result, he doesn't have any Panzerschrecks. Luckily, ronlq hasn't decided to rush a tank of any description. T-70 or T-34 being the main culprits at this stage of the game. He may be banking up for one of these Corlin tanks. On comes a Luke's. And actually, ronlq doesn't have a field gun at the moment. Luckily, he does have anti-tank grenades. Oh, was that another squad going down? And there, must have been some lucky flame crits. Luke's is doing just devastating damage to this mortar. And this is why sometimes you want to build some sandbags in your bases, Soviet. Good trick is to, whilst your conscripts are reinforcing, just to get them to build 1 or 2 sandbags just around your HQ, so if your opponent does rush in with a light vehicle, such as Luke's with flak panzer, your troops have something to hide behind and it won't be quite so damaging. I'm surprised ronlq went for 2 mortars as well. Seems like a big investment in terms of manpower. I personally wouldn't recommend it. But ronlq, here he comes in from the side, making another cut-off play. That's time and time again he's managed that one. I think he came all the way around the long way. There's a shoe mine there. I guess that got dodged by ronlq, and he's got that cut-off under control now. MG's having a hard time suppressing these combat engineers behind the cover of those haystacks. Oh my gosh, look at this Luke's, it's just tearing everything to shreds. Still don't see any field gun purchase by ronlq. My only thought is that he's just trying to lose squads, race up his command point tick, and then call on T-34-85s to deal with this. That's the only logical solution to what he's actually trying to achieve here, I think. decides to disengage for some reason. I guess it conflicts with Ura. The risk of it getting anti-tank grenades was enough to repel it. Looks like he's trying to destroy this machine gun placement, maybe making room for some infantry to enter the Soviet base through this route. Here he goes, he's just about at the required amount of command points, and he has indeed selected guard motor. He's going to be aiming for those 85s. Once they hit the field, Jono's in a bit of trouble. He's got one Raketenwerfer and no Panzerschrecks. And the production of the Lukes, while it certainly has paid dividends, has delayed the availability of Panther. Will take a bit longer, as well as his continuous cut-off maneuvers by ronlq. That Panther is going to be out very late. He's going to have a lot of trouble dealing with these 85s. He's floating out quite a bit of manpower. Could consider putting down a Pack 43, of course, which is afforded to him by fortifications. I'd say that would be his best hope. Wagon gets abandoned, and this is his only form of anti-tank. T-34-85's got rule of the roast now, and they decide to destroy that Raketenwerfer and the abandoned Kugel. Still, Jono has excellent map control at this point. You can see OKW, at least that with their fuel penalty, that's thundering in by their standards. Still, it looks like his battle group headquarters may go down. Schwer HQ is firing on, doing a little bit of damage to these T-34-85s. Looking rather grim for Jono though. May lose both of his headquarters here. And that's what you want to avoid doing, is exposing your rear armour to any flak weapon. They do alright against medium tank's rear armour. And indeed that's what we're going to see. Both of these forward headquarters getting knocked out. You should also attack them, destroy the wreckage, make it impossible for the OKW player to salvage it. There's no real time pressure, he's got enough time to do that. What I'd recommend. T-34-85 is going on the hunt for a new target, and here we go, Pack 43s about to construct. This damaged T-34-85 is going to be right in its line of fire, could die right here. It's just got a fire. Why didn't it fire? Maybe it fired at this, detonating a mine there. I think that might have been the case. Fired at these conscripts here, detonating that shoe mine that was here. There did wipe the squad, but definitely would have preferred to knock out a Vet 1 T-34-85 than a conscript squad. I'd take that trade any day of the week. Of course, you do have to remember that the Pack 43 can fire through buildings. And Jono's MG there killed one of the crawlers, but the crawler did have sight of him placing that shoe mine, so I think probably should have cancelled that. Opponent should have full awareness that that is on the road right there. Good spot for it though, somewhat covering the flank of Pack 43. Still, I'd probably face my MG34 in this direction, to be honest. It is still susceptible to a flank. And it looks like that's what ronlq has in mind. He's coalesced his infantry over here. Put down a mine of his own. He's actually putting down some sandbags here, so it looks like he wants to fortify this side of the map. And what I was saying about triple caps being hard to achieve on this map is certainly playing out here. Jono, despite having almost no anti-tank, losing both his headquarters, still ronlq couldn't achieve a triple cap. Now Jono has managed to reconstruct his Schwer HQ on the other side of the map, probably the safer side of the map for OKW, I feel. And, it's going to work. Now this is a cheeky maneuver here. Got combat engineers firing through the hedge onto this house. It's going to set that on fire soon, destroying that. And there it is, it's on fire. It'll die very shortly now. There it goes. Good play. I didn't realise you could do that, but that's a good play. Can be very useful to get your opponents out of these buildings, which can be a real issue on this map. It's so hard to knock down the buildings, and there's so many windows in them. They're really a challenge. Oh, he managed to capture one of those Soviet mortars. And he's actually decided to go for a heavy mortar as well. And he's going to use both of them to try and barrage this Schwer HQ. Not a terrible idea. Still, OKW player does indeed. And that's what I was saying about that crawler having sight of the mine being planted. And we get to see that ronlq was paying attention, and he did build a hazard removal package on his common engineers. The thing is though, while your common engineers are taking fire, they can't actually defuse or get rid of mines. So you saw her just standing there doing nothing during that engagement, and that's the reason why. And Jono's managed to bounce back from that rather shocking engagement when those T-34-85s were on the field. What the hell happened to those T-34-85s? Did I just completely miss that? I can't believe I did. Looks like this Pak-43 knocked them out. Knocked out that one at least, and probably this one as well. I'm sorry, viewers. I don't know how I missed that happening. Certainly must have been a large part played by these shrieked out Volksgrenadiers. They've managed to get to Vet 4. Vet up very quickly when you use those anti-tank weapons. Veterancy is, I think it's based 75% on damage you do and 25% on damage you receive. And anti-tank weaponry does a lot of damage to tanks, causing those infantry to get up very quickly. ronlq's banking up for his next set of 85s. Jono's got a bit of advantage now, starting to push over onto the left side of the map. And this can be a real problem if you don't have some form of indirect fire to root out these positions, these OKW positions. Luckily the heavy mortar is playing that role in this match. It's doing alright. 6 kills so far, hasn't been on the field for very long, probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Done a little bit of damage to Schwer HQ. There's actually a demo charge up there, but I don't know if we'll get to see that detonated. He really needed to do that when it was originally being kept.
Receiving effective fire. Squad back to full strength.
And that Schwer HQ is taking some big hits from those 2 mortars. There's the Axis mortar, there it is. Still, it looks like Jono's trying to save up for the Panther. And because of that, he didn't rebuild his battle group headquarters, and he has no access to healing. Unless he decides, no, he doesn't actually have it. Veteran Stern Pioneers at Bet 1 gain medic supplies, which is actually pretty good, much better than the medic pack that the Austere Grenadiers get at Bet 1. That's rubbish. This one you put it down on the ground, and I think it has like 3 charges. 3 charges to heal for the same amount as the Austere med pack, which I believe is 30 munitions. So even with the munitions penalty, it still comes out well. And there goes a Flame Pioneer squad, knocked out by these MG34 upgraded Obers. Have been receiving quite a bit more of spec ops recently for those IR scopes, now that you actually have to upgrade your Obers with a weapon. Certainly before that, IR scopes didn't make the most sense, because the MG34 was such an effective weapon in the first place. It didn't really make sense to spend your munitions to upgrade the IR scopes. And they get forced to retreat by that Molotov and the swarm of conscripts here. Down goes the Schwer HQ. That's just too much sustained fire by the mortar. Actually a field gun as well joined in on the fun. Jono looks like he's trying to get to those mortars with the those Obersoldaten, but they do get repelled by the conscripts. And it looks like Jono's going for yet another battle group headquarters. He has been doing some nice harassment on the other side of the map, but certainly going to slow down VP drain for himself at least. Down goes his Stern Pioneers though, that's a big loss. I feel that when those Obers were making that push, probably should have come down this way. His MG34 up here saw that there was very little infantry defending from this vantage point. It would have been a good choice. The new T-34-85s have been fielded and they're looking to get rowdy. Pack 43's facing in this direction. Looks like another shoe mine got run over there. Looking out some conscripts, and they're now crawling around. Actually, oh, they're not giving sight, so oh, maybe they're
Enemy tank! Enemy flanking us!
no, that's not working for some reason. Anyway, those crawlers should be giving sight, as well as trying to demonstrate there, but couldn't. Looks like the Pack 43 fired and missed. Actually, no, it looks like he's using just attack ground. Not a bad idea, as you saw there. When you're firing right close to the edge of the field gun or just any AT weapon or even tank, sometimes the shots can just ricochet off. You saw one just go flying off into the distance, penetrating through this house, and they can actually hit tanks off miles in the distance. On COH2 recently there was a video that somebody made of a panther shooting about halfway across the map on Lancaster and knocking out Sherman tank that was in my base getting repaired. Quite humorous, but those are the kind of moments in COH2 that really make you rage. Between that and those random crits when you're in those tank battles, they can really cause some anger issues. He's gone for battle group headquarters again. I mean, it's fair enough, it will allow him to reinforce and heal his Pack 43, that's why you want to locate these two structures close by to each other. I'm surprised these T-34-85s are not getting a bit more bold, but this Pack 43 is giving a large area denial for them to operate with him. And what I was saying about this map being a bit more axis favoured, certainly showing itself here. Seen numerous headquarters being knocked out, and whilst ronlq's focus hasn't been on the VPs, you can see just how hard it is to get a triple cap going, even when you have such a large advantage. Demo charge here probably would be better off on the other side, as Axis troops will be approaching from that direction, and if he just sends right click to cap that, they will just end up pooling around there, close to the front rather than the back, so you got a much better chance of wiping a squad that way. Oh, mortar battle's going on, and it looks like power in numbers here is taking effect. Two mortars better than one. Despite these two mortars being clumped, they could be susceptible to a nasty grenade here. Doesn't look like he has the munitions, spending his last on that frangible. T-34-85 is just sitting back here making sure OKW player can't cap this victory point, and certainly Jono is having a lot of trouble moving anywhere out of the arc of fire of his Pack 43. And it looks like he did indeed decide to put an MG34 protecting that flank, as I suggested earlier would be a good idea. Good to see. This is good harassment here by Jono. I'm surprised that ronlq just doesn't leave a squad, just one squad over here to protect this victory point. Just really slowing the victory point drain on Jono, allowing him to claw his way back into this game. Look at all these team weapons from ronlq as well. I think that would be the plan. If I was ronlq, I'd get some DPs, DP guards, and just camp them over here. And Jono did indeed decide to go for the Jagdpanzer. Probably a good choice on this map. Can operate well on this wide open space. Going to be very hard to flank on this side, given the Pack 43's there. And that's what the ally player will need to do. He will need to get his two T-34-85s to the rear armour of the Panzer IV, or Jagdpanzer IV. So I'm surprised ronlq's got all these team weapons sitting idle in his base. If I was him, I'd be trying to get the two mortar squads up here, maybe Maybe see if the heavy mortar will be able to barrage that Pack 43. Might not be able to knock it out, especially with the battle group headquarters right there, but he may be able to at least inflict some bleed on the manpower and damage to the weapon itself, requiring it to be repaired. Of course, the heavy mortar has greater range than the regular mortar, allowing that to happen. Oh, Jono put down some S-mines there. That is an often neglected part of fortifications. The ability to build mines and bunkers. OKW. Usually OKW player doesn't have enough munitions to make that happen. Still, I don't know how this is happening. He really has no right to be anything less than 2 for 1 capped at this stage. But somehow he's managed to decap 2 of the VPs, allowing this fuel to just tick in and continue to claw his way back in the game.
I hear people complain about dying. 1 minute you will be there, next you will...
Yeah, interesting choice. He decided to go for the Stern Pioneers. At this point I'd consider putting down a mechanized regiment headquarters,
Enemy Cooper down!
allowing for vehicle repairs, and then going for a King Tiger. King Tiger with the Yak Panzer supporting would be quite a good combination, I feel, even after the armor nerf. King Tiger should do quite well against T-34-85s.
Under attack! One of our forward structures has been destroyed.
And this is interesting. ronlq's decided to knock out those 2 OKW flak emplacements in the base.
Prepare to execute.
Looks like he's considering trying to kill Jono's command headquarters. Not often you see anybody try that out. Oh, down goes a Panzerschreck squad.
Under fire!
Nasty loss there for Jono. He's about to lose his MG.
Enemy flanking us!
This is a bit of bad play for ronlq. You should really have your field gun on hold fire most of the time. Means they'll only fire at vehicles. Oh my god, that Pack 43 is just MVP. Snipes that T-34-85 at max range. I just can't believe that. It's up to 3 kills now. I don't believe he used target weak point. Probably would be on cooldown if he had. That was also the marked vehicle for ronlq. He's floating a monstrous amount of munitions. By the time I'll be using the vehicle crew self-repair, try to get that T-34-85 healed up, and I'll be building mines everywhere. I'll just be building a line of mines everywhere along these roads, along here. 500 munitions. I built at least 2 squads of combat engineers to mine the hell out of everything.
Grenadiers back to full strength.
Still, we're about 40 minutes into the game now, and this is when fatigue starts setting in. You start to make some
Contact!
less than ideal decisions.
Orders complete.
As a result, actually I might speed this up for a little bit
We have secured the target.
until the next engagement. Here we go. This is actually a long replay, as you can see. We're over 40 minutes in and just over halfway. May make use of extra speed a couple more times. Incendiary rounds on the MG34.
Incoming! Spread out!
Really should have used vehicle crew repairs on that T-34-85 would have been available to support in this engagement here. He's got a huge amount of fuel. I guess with that Jagdpanzer and Pak-43 on the field, maybe he's deciding that armour isn't the best route to go forwards with, and if he just goes with infantry, that will be a lot of Jono's manpower tied up in relatively useless weapons, and then just battle it out with infantry from then on. If he does want to go in that route, he will have to make a lot more guards rifles if he wants to go head to head with Obers.
Target captured. Quick defensive position established. Enemy movement!
Looks like one LG's finally making a push forwards. Nice booby trap then, wipes out a squad of conscripts. Incendiary rounds doing some decent damage to these guards. Mortar forces those Obers out of the building over there. They'll be retreating quickly. Stern Pioneers forcing the Zis to reposition. Jagdpanzer's trying to fire on T-34-85, misses 2 shots. Coming to try and repel these Stern Pioneers. Bad plan here, exposing his rear armour to the Jagdpanzer. That's just bad micro there. Looks like that push resulted in a lot of bleed there to ronlq. Imagine he was having trouble microing both engagements. Down goes to Zis though. Stern Pioneers are lucky to escape. I think he was a bit wary of chasing, but didn't want to lose yet another T-34-85 to that Pak-43. We might speed up here while everything reinforces a bit. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, back in action. To be honest, I'm not sure why he's got his heavy mortar over here. He needs it to be repelling these squads over here. Relatively useless on that left side of the map. It's just too much room to move. It's going to be very hard for him to land a shot. At least through here there are a few bottlenecks where you can just fire on and there'll be a good chance of hitting something. I'm gonna have to speed this up again, I think. Deep.
Assembly complete.
Looks like ronlq's just gonna throw them back into the meat grinder. Slightly learned his lesson, knowing that there will be MG34 over here. So let's go down this channel. Unlucky for him, there was yet another MG34. At the same time, marked vehicle on the Jagdpanzer, it's got a couple of nice hits off on that T-34-85. This has been recruited, reinforced, and now it's moving over to try and help. Vet 4 for the MG34, that's a good achievement for it. Only got 13 kills, but must have been doing a lot of damage to get to Vet 4. I was sitting in his house here, must have been a misclick. Needs to reinforce those ASAP. Get them up to the front line, dealing with this allied infantry. And it looks like Jono's starting to turn the tide. VP's closing in on equal now. Trying to go for the triple cap, but doesn't quite manage it. And isn't it nice seeing a plane not getting shot down by these base flak emplacements? Actually, only one of them left. His T-34-85's killed the rest of them. That could have hit. Well, that could have been one of the reasons. It's like Jono wanted to recrew this mortar here, but this large swarm from ronlq will persuade him otherwise. Certainly Jono doesn't really need the extra indirect fire, but denying it to his opponent would have been nice, as it has been doing some decent damage to his squads. Once again, ronlq really needs to use vehicle crew repairs. He's got 400 munitions in the bank. Yeah, he just has to use it. Actually, a bunker going down here from Jono. Rare to see a bunker from OKW, even when they use fortifications, but here it is in effect. One should just consider moving his this over to fire at that. Overs have finally been reinforced and returned to the front line, and that was a nasty grenade by those Gauss rifles, wiping out that Vet 4 Panzerschrecked out Volksgrenadier squad. Overs also Vet 4 up to 38 kills now. It's nothing to sneeze at. Finally, Jono's had a headquarter structure up for long enough. And he's filled himself a Panther. Not sure about the Panther decision. As I said, I probably would have gone for a King Tiger. Had enough fuel. He's already got plenty of anti-tank. Needs more anti-infantry. Whilst the Panther does okay in this role when it has the pintle mount machine gun upgraded, I feel a King Tiger would have done a much better job. Looks like ronlq's trying to float up for another squad of T-34-85s. Exposes rear armour to these Axis tanks. A bit slow to react though. Marked vehicle on the Jagdpanzer is getting fired on by the field gun. Oops, I got double speed on for some reason. Decides to retreat. And the Panther sees this allied infantry, decides to pull back, doesn't want to get anti-tank grenaded and knocked out by the field gun and T-34-85 combo. So all these guards actually, they could do some light damage if they're hitting the Panther's rear armour. Down goes yet another Zis. Luckily though, this time it's very close to the allied base, they'll be able to recrew and reinforce it in short order, and this is where ronlq just please use vehicle crew repair training. Just repair your tanks, mate. Instead he's been spamming marked vehicle, which is not bad, but certainly at least two of the times he's used it was a complete waste. And this is where the Panther is struggling, as I was saying earlier. This is where King Tiger will be much better, knocking out this infantry. This gets a couple of nice shots on the frontal arm of Panther. Oh, no it wasn't. I thought that was the Vet. Actually it's up to Vet 5 now. Vet 5 MG34. What does it even gain at Vet 5? Increased sight range and better weapon accuracy. That's handy. I guess it probably has the amount of sight equal to its arc of fire now. Similar to when you crew a machine gun with the Pathfinders as US, as you sometimes see people do. try and make use of that added sight range. So, 3 T-34-85s versus a Jagdpanzer and a Panther. I think Jono could afford to get that third truck now. Oh, he is putting it down actually, good on him. He needs that extra repair ability. Should also consider upgrading his Stern Pioneers with the support package. Unlike the other factions, OKW support package does actually increase repair rate on vehicles. Other cruise packages are actually called hazard removal packages, alluding to the fact that they're more for knocking out mines and keeping barbed wire. Looks like ronlq was considering going for an annihilation victory, but that Jagdpanzer was repaired just in the nick of time, get some nasty hits off, and it's going to force them all to retreat. I wonder if the Pack 43 managed to get a shot off there as well. I missed that if it did. As both teams will be repairing for a bit, I'll just speed this up. Get this cooking.
Continue the push. They are now at 100 points. Scanning here, ready for action.
Oh my gosh, this game's just... See, there's still about a quarter of the game left for an hour in. This one's really dragging out. These games can be really frustrating to play. And if you want to avoid playing them, I suggest avoiding this map. Personally. And once again, Panther exposing the fact that it's not so good at its anti-infantry role, having a hard time with these guards. We'll have an easier time if they clump up like this. One of its high velocity rounds actually hits, could do fair whack of damage. And there we got to see a bit of damage going down. Marked vehicle spam continues on this Panther. So this gets a nice shot off. Bit of a waste if he's not going to try to chase it. Does have one full health T-34-85. So he probably actually could have knocked out the Panther there.
We have loads the enemy to 75 points. Enemy movement on the flank.
Gonna get this going again at 4 times speed.
Unit ready.
Did he actually use the vehicle crew repair there? I think he might have finally used it.
One of our forward structures has been destroyed.
What did they destroy? Oh, bunker. I thought, did he lose another headquarters somehow that I missed, but there's a bunker going down. This is just really crazy. He's just slugging it out here. All these obers might run over this demo charge. Vet 4 obers, just under 50 kills. That'll be a huge loss. He inches forwards, but he just stands on the edge. If he detonates it, probably get 3 of the 4 models, but won't kill it. Only got 1 of the models even. Oh no, that is a real tragedy. Look at those overs, they just tear those constructs to shreds. At Vet 4 they actually gain the ability to suppress. I believe it's Vet 4, maybe it's Vet 5. That's what you saw happen there. Suppressing the conscripts. Now there's no support for these team weapons, they're going to get melted. Oh, well, these tanks are going toe to toe, He gets destroyed by the out of control one, the Pack 43s. Oh, and just at max range, another T-34-85 goes down to the Pack 43. ronlq really needs to be a bit more aware of when he's in the firing circle of that. That marked vehicle's run out now. Should not be chasing under any circumstances. Pack 43 slightly changing its angle to make sure it could fire on the T-34-85, but both sides decide to disengage. One of the VPs has been decapped, so no victory point drain going on at the moment. Gonna speed this up while these tanks get repaired again.
Squad numbers back at full. Receiving effective fire.
Two mine there gets detected, but it doesn't get swept. 5 overs doing all sorts of damage to those team weapons. There they come in. ronlq really needs to work on getting some support for his team weapons. They seem to be unsupported a lot of the time. Guys trying to do some damage to the Panther. They're having a bit of success. Oh, guards do nasty damage there. A whole heap of PTRS is connected with those overs, and they're lucky to escape with the lines, to be honest there. Guards actually doing more damage to the Panther than I thought they would. Once again, I suspect that's where a King Tiger would have been a better choice than a Panther. Just dealing with that Soviet infantry. Down goes one squad though. Really getting down. Should go for a crush here. Looks like that's what he's planning. No. He's just boosting out of the way of this.
Standing by. It's time for action. Return fire! Taking effective fire!
Oh, down goes the Vet 5 overs. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Nice mortar shell takes them out. And as a result, Jono's running a bit low on infantry. Army sizes are similar, but well, actually, ronlq's got about 15 advantage, but a lot of Jono's army is tied up in this Pack 43, so it's, you know, it's not going to help his cause if he's fighting on the front line. Looks like ronlq may be saving up for yet another squad of T-34-85s. Let's see if these ones can do the trick, eh? There's a Panther on the field though. Panther does well against T-34-85 as long as they don't flank it. Which she hasn't shown any signs of doing so. In fact, she's regularly exposed the rear arm of his T-34-85s, which is something you want to avoid wherever possible. In those circumstances, you should really be more aware of making good use of the reversibility, which is on standard hotkeys U. You never want to expose the rear of your tanks if possible. Unless you're doing a really tricky bait, but even then I probably wouldn't advise it. Marked vehicle spam continues. Down to just 100 munitions. He was at about 500 earlier in the match. Whittled its way all the way down to 120 now. Nearly got enough for another set of 85s. still Jono does have a lead in the victory point game. 107 to his opponent's 38. That vehicle plus PTRS to the rear armor actually did a little bit of damage to the Panther. Unfortunately, there's the cost of popping it too early. Helicopter going around the house. There's the cost of popping it too early when it actually came time to engage with his 85s. It had already run out. This is T-3485 just sitting AFK. Honestly, if I was ronlq, what I'd be considering doing is getting some mortar set up behind this hedge line here and trying to just bomb the hell out of that Pack 43. Leave one of my tanks there to support along with the field gun, and then leave my two T-3485s defending from this position. And I feel that could be a winning. It could have been a winning combination, but here comes the King Tiger, and ronlq is going to have a lot of trouble dealing with that. He hasn't shown much ability in terms of flanking maneuvers. Still has enough munitions for 2 more marked vehicles. Hasn't got any mines down that I've seen, at least. Mines are probably the best counter to the super heavy tanks. Oh, this is going nicely. T-3485 taking massive damage. Marked vehicle goes on the King Tiger. Down goes one T-3485. Where's the other one? Here he comes in from the outside of the map. Should not be engaging until that gets there. Maybe try to bait them forwards and then bring it in from the rear, but he just brings it in from the front. A real waste opportunity. I feel if he brought his TP-35 from this direction where he was coming from originally in the first place, he might actually be able to kill that King Tiger there, but decides otherwise, and this is a big mistake as well, firing on the King Tiger's frontal armor while the Panther's rear armor was in clear view of this T-3485. And now he's moving back to try and dodge the King Tiger's fire, but will not be able to get many shots through the frontal armor of the Panther. Ooh, what a messy engagement there from ronlq. From all accounts, he should have done a lot better in that engagement. If he had brought in that third T-3485 in from the rear, he probably could have killed the King Tiger and may have been able to keep himself in the game. At the very least, though, he still has 2 of his T-3485s not too far away from another set. Really needs to use the vehicle crew repairs right now.
MG-34 heavy machine guns are now available.
Seems to have forgotten that that's even possible. If not, should probably have 2 squads available for repairs. Still, in terms of munitions though, ronlq has burnt through his bank. I imagine he'll have enough munitions for 1 more marked vehicle in the next engagement. Oh man, those tanks are going to take forever to repair. He's lucky that his opponent's in a similar situation. It's going to be all infantry for the next few minutes. I might speed this one up. Not much happening again. Jono's done well, just sending squads off to this side of the map to defend time and time again. MG-34 doesn't manage to suppress those guards before they get in range for a nade. Could go down. No, it doesn't quite. Let's just speed this up again. T-3485 over here now. We are exposed to the Panther. Uh-oh. There's this last marked vehicle. Actually, maybe he will have enough for another one. Still, Panther could chase here. Knock out this T-3485. Oh, now goes the plane. While shooting down the plane doesn't mean that the marked vehicle ends. But it does come in handy shooting it down. And once again, that Pack 43, that's got to be MVP from this game. These T-3485s get too close to it again and turns the tide in Jono's favour, and then comes the mostly repaired King Tiger to finish him off. Final set of T-3485s now, I feel. Jono is probably going to win this one unless ronlq can make something happen. King Tiger's rear armor is exposed there, you don't want to do that. Actually, that gave it Vet 1 though, so it does blitz backwards to safety.
Push the attack. They are down to 10 points.
Just 10 points left now from ronlq. Needs to get this capping circle ASAP. He got out of it there for a second. Stay in the capping circle, Ron. 6, 5, 4, 4. And clock is stopped. But oh no, Jono is going for the VP over here. Very little here to defend by ronlq. Does get decaps. Technical start again extremely slowly. Down to 2 VPs now. And that's going to be the game. Well, how about that? I feel like Jono maybe should have constructed his headquarters on this side of the map to begin with. Probably should have had some more anti-tank, used less nades early game and had some more anti-tank available for when the T-3485s arrived on the field, and then should have gone for a King Tiger earlier instead of that Panther. Probably could have closed the show a bit quicker than what we saw here today. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up quickly. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you